Hello everyone, I'm Richard Herman, your go-to immigration attorney. Today I have some very exciting news and practical tips to share. President Biden's new immigration program, called Keep Families Together, is set to launch soon, and I want to help you get ready to apply. The program was announced on June 18th. We've got some good information to share via the government, but the government has not yet launched the program, so we can't give you exact details of which forms to file, how much they're going to cost, and that sort of thing. Nevertheless, this is a great time to start getting ready because we have a really good idea generally what they're going to ask for. So what's this program all about? This new process will consider requests for certain non-citizen spouses of U.S. citizens who have been continuously present in the U.S. for the last 10 years or more. You got to make sure there's no disqualifying criminal convictions, that we don't pose a threat to national security or public safety, and we meet other requirements. But if this gets approved and you get parole status, which is what they're offering, then you'd be eligible to finish up and apply for a green card. The program is purely at the discretion of Homeland Security. They can approve it or deny it. Let's break it down. The first element of eligibility is you must have been continuously present in the U.S. for at least 10 years. We got to document that. The second is you must be legally married to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th. So if you're thinking about going out and marrying tomorrow, running out and just grabbing somebody on the street, so let's get married, honey, it's not going to work. Okay? You got to have a clean record. No disqualifying criminal convictions. If your record is cleaner than your grandma's cookie jar, you're good to go. If you got something on your record, you got to talk to an attorney and figure it out. Children of spouses granted this parole benefit are also eligible for the status as the stepchild of a U.S. citizen step-parent. Now, if paroled, you can apply for a green card without leaving the U.S. Homeland Security estimates about 500,000 spouses will be eligible, and about 50,000 children will benefit from this program. So you may be asking, hey Richard, why is this parole so important? Well, typically, undocumented spouses and children of U.S. citizens face significant hurdles when applying for a green card, especially if they enter the U.S. without inspection. Many people came to the U.S., millions, without a visa. So under the current law, they'd have to leave the U.S. to process their immigrant visa, their green card. The problem is, after they leave the U.S., they're probably barred for 10 years from coming back in because that's the law. The law says you're going to be penalized because of the undocumented presence in the U.S. So most people don't go and do that. They just sit here and stay. And many have been here for 10 and 20 years without status. By the way, we used to have programs years ago where you'd pay a financial penalty and you'd be able to get your green card no matter how you entered the United States. But we haven't had the law like that since 2001. 23 years ago, that law expired. So the current law is they'd have to leave the U.S. and apply for a waiver and come back in. But this new parole process changes the game. It allows you to adjust your status to permanent residency or green card without leaving the U.S., without separating the family from each other and making the green card process so much easier. So that's the big enchilada of the new program announced by President Biden. There's also another big nugget in that announcement, and that's for our DACA friends. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, people that came here as children, undocumented without inspection, with their parents. If you have DACA right now and you have a college degree, this new program would allow you to apply for a high-skilled worker visa like the H-1B. That's awesome because if you have the H-1B, now you're in legal status, because DACA is not really a legal status. Once you have the H-1B, then you'd be allowed to get a green card through employment or through marriage or those kind of things. So these are big issues for DACA and a great opportunity. So how do we prepare now for what we think is going to happen shortly? The U.S. Immigration announced that they expect to have the program open and ready for filing by the end of the summer. 2024. But I wouldn't just sit at home wondering and waiting for them to announce the actual program. They're already telling us what they want. They want proof of the following: continuous presence in the U.S. for at least the last 10 years. And by the way, they're not going to just take your word for it. They want to see utility bills, rent receipts, bank statements, school employment records, affidavits from witnesses that say, hey, I've lived next door to Maria for the last 12 years. So, and you got to prove it every year. So don't just say, well, I can show I've been here in 2017, but I've got nothing for 2018. That's not going to work. You got to show continuous, uninterrupted presence in the U.S. the last 10 years. Second thing you want to show is proof of marriage. Obviously, is there proof of a legal marriage certificate? It's also a good idea to prove that prior marriages that either you or your spouse have been properly terminated by divorce or death. Okay, so that you can show that when you married your current spouse, you both were single. But it's not just the legal documents. I want you to show that the relationship is real, that you live together, that you share life together. So joint financial documents, leases, mortgages, bills, photos, communication records. Dig all that stuff up and start putting that together. The third thing that I want you to start working on is collecting evidence of good moral character. That, you might say, well, Richard, I don't have a criminal record. They must know I'm a good person then. Well, no, you might not have a criminal record, but that doesn't mean that you're not a criminal. You might not have gotten caught yet. So go ahead and affirmatively document, hey, I'm not the type of person that commits criminal acts. So these are the things you should do. One, get your fingerprints run by the, costs like $30 or so. We can send you a link on how to do that. And it takes a couple of weeks. They run your fingerprints and they issue you a nice statement saying, here's your record or no record. Secondly, you can get affidavits from people that know you. It could be from your temple, your church, or your employer, or your next door neighbor. Hey, I know Alfredo. Alfredo is honest. He's a person of good moral character. He's got integrity. He's compassionate. And here's some examples. He helped me out when I really needed somebody. If you do have any criminal cases in your background, no matter how small, petty theft, a DUI, disorderly conduct, get certified copies of those proceedings, the charge, the judge's order, evidence that you pay all your fines and penalties, and then talk to a lawyer before you go to immigration. Talk to an experienced immigration lawyer so they can seek that and give you proper guidance. And then any other favorable factors in your record. Are you involved in community service? Do you volunteer at the food bank? What's your employment history? Show your resume, your reference letters, your certifications. So that's pretty much it. Don't forget to create and update your USCIS account online. This will make the process a lot smoother than a hot knife through butter. Keep an eye out for the new announcements on the exact start date and application details that'll be posted on the USCIS website. Also, be scam aware. Anytime there's a new immigration program, the predators jump out. Some of them might be attorneys, sad to say. Many of them are not attorneys, like consultants or notarios that claim to be attorneys or claim to be acting in your best interest. U.S. immigration will never ask for money through personal social media or ask you to pay via Western Union gift cards. There are scam artists that will act like they're U.S. immigration. Don't believe that. If someone does do that, run faster than a cheat on caffeine. Okay, it's not worth it. So there you have it, guys. Start gathering your documents, stay informed, get ready to apply. This is a game changer for many families. If you need any help, you know where to find me. Thanks for watching. Good luck.